Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 38, I want to say. Yeah, let's go with that. And this is officially our kind of fallout from our best show ever, Full Gear. The last episode was a women-focused episode where we've kind of rebuilt the women's rosters. So I've got this like weird pressure on myself to make sure that women's wrestling is better from now on, but it still might take some time to build some people up that we've promoted or hired, so hold off guys, it will get better, I promise. But we are here with Dynamite. This is our first show since that big event, so yeah, lots of things to cover. Hopefully we're going to hear from a few new champions, existing champions, new challengers, etc. Yeah, let's just head straight in. We had no backstage incidents, so we are here in the pre-show with a pretty good match that probably should have gone on the main card, now that I think about it. Especially because they've got great chemistry. Whoa! But in a pre-show match that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Lance Archer defeats Samoa Joe in 11 minutes with the blackout. So Lance Archer continuing that winning streak, and Samoa Joe being fed to, what's he called? The Murder Hawk? Something like that? Is that his nickname? I don't know. 71, nice. The next pre-show segment, which I think is our final one, features 3 new female faces. It had decent wrestling and little heat. Azure Revolution, which is Risa Serra and Maya Yukihi, defeat Charlie Evans and Deonna Purrazzo in 13:45 when Risa Serra, I'm going to say Serra, pins Charlie Evans with the Russia Scissors. Deonna Purrazzo carried the match. That's just because she's probably got a bit more pop than these guys. Obviously, I think these two are in like the 10s or below in popularity, but you can see like 53 from Maya Yukihi, 48 from Risa Serra. They're going to get better as their popularity grows. The scores are going to start reflecting how great they really are. They're already a team, so yeah, they got crazy good chemistry. Great for their gimmicks, love that. And 57, can't complain. Good debut from these guys. Unfortunate for Charlie Evans, but 51 is still pretty good. I think that's everything from our pre-show, so let's jump straight into the main show of AEW Dynamite. And who else to open the show but the man that stood tall at the end of Full Gear? Not Hangman Adam Page, even though he did win his match, but Jay White, the Switchblade, the leader of the Bang Bang Club, Bullet Club Gold, comes to the ring with an opening promo and basically says, Bullet Club are taking over. We've waited, we've bided our time, we are here, and we are taking over. And more specifically, I am taking over, and I am going to be the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Hangman Adam Page comes out and says, usually when someone challenges me or anyone, they've got to prove themselves. They have to, win a number 1 contenders match just like Pac did, or they have to enter a mini tournament. But you're a special case, Jay White. You've already proven yourself. You've defeated CM Punk, one of the best wrestlers in the world. You've held the international title for a very long time with many, many successful defenses. He said, in all honesty, Jay, I can't remember the last time you lost a match. So if you want to challenge me for my World Heavyweight Championship, you're on. But I want to challenge you, Jay. I don't want to challenge Bullet Club Gold. I don't want any shenanigans or any interference. I want to challenge you and you alone. To which Jay White kind of laughs a little to himself. He looks at Juice. Juice, the only one who's out here with him, by the way, the OG Bullet Club Gold guys. And Jay says, hey, you're on. He said, I'm already the best wrestler in the world. I've beaten the best. I am the best. And I can take you on, Hangman Page, one-on-one. And to prove that, because the international title is now brandless, I will see you on your own turf. I will see you at Collision. That way, no Bullet Club Gold shenanigans. How does that sound? And Hangman Page agrees. And they kind of have like a mini stare down here. Juice is like screaming his head off. He doesn't need a microphone. He's a wild boy. But yeah, great segment between these two, and that kind of confirms it. Jay White has confirmed that he will be moving, I guess, to Collision in order to challenge Hangman Page to prove that he does not need Bullet Club Gold's help to become the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And Hangman Page accepting that challenge. So, yeah, great way to open the show. Very excited to see Jay White and Hangman Page. Interesting that he's leaving Bullet Club Gold behind. It'll be pretty interesting to see how Bullet Club Gold do with him not around. Or is Jay White doing double duty? Many questions. We'll have to wait and see. Following this, we have some tag team action, and it is FTR defeating TMDK in 21 minutes when Cash Wheeler gets the pin on Mikey Nicholls with the big rig. I've noticed that FTR have been on a losing streak lately, so I just wanted to give them a little win. And TMDK are people that I don't use that much, and I feel like they should be better than this. So I'm hoping, even though they're losing, an exposure in a 70 rated match, which is pretty good, will kind of give them that little popularity boost or whatever kind of boost it is they need. So yeah, simple match here, straight up tag team match. Congrats FTR. We head backstage now, where Bryan Danielson, not the American Dragon, the American Dragon has gone back into hiding. Bryan Danielson is just expressing how incredible of a hero El Generico is, and kind of jokingly says that if anyone should have a TNT title shot, it should be him, El Generico. Of course, El Generico is happy about that. Brie Garcia is here as well, as you can see, good pairing. And she's like, I agree, El Generico is the hero that we all need, and he should be our TNT champion. To which CJ Perry comes in, followed by Miro and Coughlin, and just says, no chance, not going to happen. No, he doesn't deserve anything. He's just a lunatic in a mask. To which Miro kind of puts his hand on CJ's shoulder and just says, if El Generico wants a title shot, then he's got it. See you next week. And walks off. So this is confirmed. El Generico will face Miro next week in the main event of Dynamite for the TNT Championship. Bryan Danielson working some real magic here to get El Generico a title shot. So that should be a super fun match. Hero versus villain once again. The sequel, you could say. And we haven't got to wait long for it. Next week. Let's move on. 93 as well. Wow. Following this, we've got a little segment with the New Wave and our new AEW World Light Heavyweight Champion, Daniel Garcia, where the New Wave are celebrating together. Obviously, they are Mercedes Monelas, and just going backstage, celebrating, showing off the title, giving it a little polish, and they see Matt and Nick Jackson just kind of vibing backstage, minding their own business, when Ricky Starks decides to kind of pick a little fight with them and just mock them, just being like, oh, you guys couldn't beat the New Wave in a best of 3, and neither of you could beat our boy Daniel Garcia in the tournament. Like, you guys are pretty bad. Like, what happened to you guys? You were the best at one point. Ha ha ha. Like, just taking the mick. To which Nick Jackson gets very upset and challenges the New Wave to a match in which Ricky Starks and Swerve accept, because Daniel Garcia needs his rest. He had a grueling, I think it was a 30-minute match or something at Full Gear, so he needs his rest, but he's more than happy to oversee a tag team match between these guys, and that match happens next. 77 rate segment, love that. Let's see what happens. The Young Bucks against the New Wave. And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, the Young Bucks, of course they do, they get the win. And it is in kind of convincing fashion. It says 21 minutes here, which it was, but the Young Bucks really sealed the deal at the end, proving that they are an elite tag team. Nick Jackson getting the win with the Meltzer driver. 79 rated match, pretty good. Ricky Starks is terrible in ring. I don't know why. I think it's down to his inconsistency. I think he's like that in real life as well. Man's like incredible on the mic, but in the ring he's so inconsistent. It just depends who he's against. Swerve as well should be getting better numbers in this, but yeah, the Young Bucks back in action, back together after the tournament fallout of Nick Jackson failing in the Dynamite final and defeating his brother in the semi-final. So they are back together and they seem to be fine, which is great news, because the Young Bucks are a team that should never, ever disband at all. In this game, they're known as a permanent unit, so permanent's a pretty strong word. But yeah, great win. They've kind of just shut up Starks and Swerve, although Garcia's, on cloud 9 right now, so nothing's going to derail him and his vibes. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Daniel Garcia and that World Light Heavyweight Championship. Following this, though, we have Paige Van Zandt returning and coming to the ring with her friend Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho just cuts a quick promo, said she's had some time away. She needed a bit of R&R. She was here week in, week out, decimating the women's division, but she's back and she's stronger than ever. So if anyone wants to face her, come on out. So, Paige Van Zandt, Chris Jericho calling an open challenge, but Paige Van Zandt being the one involved. 76, nice. Let's see who accepts her challenge. And in a decent match, it's Trish Adora, who's been on a kind of decent streak at the moment. She defeats Paige Van Zandt in 10:43 with the Lariat Tubman. During the match, though, Jordynne Grace debuted and attacked Paige Van Zandt. So it seems like either Van Zandt has got a big old target on her back, or Jordynne Grace and Trish Adora have formed some kind of alliance. They seem to be celebrating together post-match, so it seems like Trish and Grace have formed some kind of team. Whether it's targeting Paige or not, we don't know yet. But a huge win for Trish Adora. And this just saddens me a little bit. All the work we put in with Paige Van Zandt on that undefeated streak, even the win at All Out, and she's still only getting a 51. Ugh. Whereas Trish, who has half the popularity that Paige does, but a 53, that just goes to show how important some of these stats are. Great win for Trish. Really happy for her. And a debut from Jordynne Grace, who isn't pictured, but you guys know who she is. Following this, we head backstage, and Christian Cage cuts a promo. Christian Cage, who is in our main event tonight, he is facing Drew Galloway as per his request after being headbutted by Drew Galloway at Full Gear. I believe it happened at Full Gear. He was definitely headbutted by him. Christian Cage says that he vows to teach Drew a lesson tonight. I don't know what lesson that is, but he said he's going to teach it. And Luchasaurus is obviously there, looking menacing as always. So yeah, that's our main event for tonight. Drew Galloway facing Christian Cage. But before that, we have got another backstage promo, I believe. Yep, and it is Jay White with the rest of Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Club. And Jay White is passing the torch to CM Punk temporarily. Who'd have thought that? Jay White has left CM Punk in charge of Bullet Club Gold while he heads to Collision to claim the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And, a few shocked faces. Juice is a little bit miffed because, he thought that he was the second in command. Keith Lee is kind of just, dealing with it. AJ Mendez super happy that Punk has been left in charge because that's her husband. And Chris Bay is too busy licking the ear of Saraya, so no worries about that. But yeah, effective immediately, CM Punk is technically the Bullet Club Gold leader. That is very interesting, and we'll have to see what Bullet Club Gold look like under CM Punk's leadership while Jay White is over in Collision. 85 rate segment, love that. I mean, it's Punk and Jay White, so it's going to be great no matter what. Following this segment, we have one final match before our main event, and it is the returning Layla Hirsch, someone that was cherry-picked by Spanish Elena. So she gets a main roster return match. So in a bout that had decent wrestling but not much heat, Layla Hirsch gets the win in 8 minutes against Sari by submission with the cross arm breaker. I didn't think this match would do too good because both of these wrestlers are listed as openers or, the kind of bottom of the barrel because of their popularity. But I don't care. This is how you get pop. You have to put them on the main show. So Layla Hirsch with a 49 performance, Sari with a 51. They also don't click. They've got bad chemistry together, which sucks. And the crowd were kind of turned off because these are pre-show workers that shouldn't be on the main show. But deal with it, guys. You've got some 90-something segments. You saw the Young Bucks. You saw FTR. You're about to see Drew Galloway and Christian. So, shut up. The 44 rate segment, that's going to harm our rating. But it's how you grow stars. So we're going to have to take a few of these bullets in order to grow. But that does take us to the main event, Drew Galloway versus Christian Cage. And in a good match, Drew Galloway gets the win. He defeats Christian Cage in 15 minutes 46 with the Claymore kick. And that's an 80 rated match, a 79 from Drew Galloway and a 63 from Christian Cage. I'm surprised Christian Cage went that long in a match. I was surprised that there wasn't a road agent note saying that man can't do 16 minutes, but man can do 16 minutes, and man did 16 minutes and also lost. But that is how we end our show. Drew Galloway kind of gets the one up on Christian Cage again, after, you know, being spoken to rudely. So, I mean, Drew Galloway is kind of the heel in this situation if you think about it. He's the one that headbutted Christian. Either way, he's not a heel in our hearts, is he? He's a beautiful man, beautiful 6'5" Scottish man. Let's stop talking. Let's just end the show. We got a 83. I didn't think it'd be that good. Wow. Although looking back, we got some baller segments. Great opening match, 70, 79. The women's matches weren't the best, but we're working on it, guys. Drew Galloway with an 80 rated match at the end with a nice win. Yeah, can't complain. A nice, simple, relaxed following show from the huge, I can't stress how great that pay-per-view was. But yeah, Collision, I'm sure, is going to have some tasty segments because we've got some big money fallouts over there. We had the draw between the Golden Lovers and the Lucha Brothers. We had the Eddie Kingston's Ultra Violence and the Combat Club. And as we said, Jay White said that he was heading to Collision to, you know, win the World Heavyweight title. So I'm sure we're going to see him there. It's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, I'll finish this one now and I'll jump over to Collision and see you over there. And we are here for Collision, and we open with a debut in our pre-show. It's Mizuki facing off against Riho, where Mizuki gets the win with the QT special. 58 rated segment. Mizuki gets a 50 and Riho with a 62. Mizuki benefited from having a hot new move. Yeah, Mizuki, great talent in Tokyo Japan Pro Wrestling, among other places she's appeared in. Yeah, just trying to build these people up. You got to give them screen time, otherwise they're not going to get better. And the pre-show is the place for Mizuki right now. Following this, we have one more pre-show match. I really wanted to put this on the main card, but I just couldn't find the space. And it's Hook and Hobbs. Hook, after his loss at Full Gear, is not slowing down at all. He's teaming up with his friend Powerhouse Hobbs, and they are defeating the Acclaimed in 9 minutes when he makes Anthony Bowens submit with the red rum. Hook with an 85. Wow. We need to do something with this boy soon. We can't have this kind of talent being wasted. 73 overall, not bad given that everyone else was kind of a little bit doggy. But that ends our pre-show matches. But we do have a quick announcement from Renee Paquette. She has said that Jay White is here. He is a man of his word. He is at Collision, and he has also offered the opportunity for Adam Page's amigo, Bandido, to have an international title opportunity tonight, of which Bandido has accepted. So the main event tonight is Jay White defending his international title against Bandido. So that should be a tasty affair. But first, we have the rest of the card to go through. So let's jump straight into the main show. And it kicks off with Eddie Kingston. He comes out not looking that happy, which is strange because his team did win at Full Gear. I mean, the match was terrible. But he said he's not satisfied. He doesn't think a lesson has been taught, and he hasn't got a problem with the Combat Club. He said that Claudio, Zach, Wheeler, they're being led by a psychopath, and it's the psychopath that needs to be taught a lesson. So he says that he wants Mox, not Moz, Mox 1-on-1, and he will not rest until he gets that. No answer from anyone, so Moxley's probably not at the show tonight, but Kingston has made it clear he wants Moxley and no one else, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure Moxley's going to respond and say yes, but we'll just have to wait and see how and when. 81 rated segment, great opener. Eddie Kingston's golden on the mic, we love to see it. Following this, though, Toni Storm and Ruby Soho come down to the ring, and they basically just hype themselves up a bit, just being like, I'm probably the best TBS champion that they've ever had. You know, forget Jade Cargill on her 60-match win streak against jobbers. Like, I'm actually beating top talent. And I think as a pair, we are probably the best duo in all of AEW. I don't think there's anyone that can beat us. Storm and Soho, number one. And as soon as she says that, some music hits, and it is the debut of Maki Ito and Miu Yamashita, also known as whatever this number is. How many zeros are here? 1, 2, I can't even see. Let's count the zeros together. Let's do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 121 million, right? Let's just call them the 121. So in a decent match, the 121 who challenge Storm and Soho defeat them in 11:58 when Maki Ito pins the champion Toni Storm with their Ito special. Wow, and you can see how good Miu and Maki are, because they've done just as good, if not better, than Toni Storm and Ruby Soho in this match. So yeah, awesome. Miu has debuted her badass gimmick and got a rating of great. Maki Ito does not have a debuting gimmick because I think she's already performed in Ring of Honor, and because we recalled her, it kind of already counts that, I think. Or I've used her on oh no, I've used her on the main show before, but I've used Miu as well. I used Miu at Forbidden Door. Oh well, I'm overthinking it. 58 rated match, decent, not bad. We can, you know, grow from there. Maki Ito getting a 1-up on the champion. Oh, wonder where that's going to go. Following this, though, we head backstage, and the Golden Lovers are furious. They found Nigel McGuinness, and they said that they want a rematch. The match at Full Gear wasn't fair. The match was stopped. It was decided as a draw when it shouldn't have been. You should have just let the match carry on, because, you know, we had them. We were so close to winning. And Nigel's like, okay. I will admit the match was pure chaos at Full Gear, and it probably could have been handled and refereed a little bit better. So, you know what? I'll give you guys the benefit of a doubt. You will get your rematch against the Lucha Brothers, and I will make sure that none of those, you know, crappy endings will happen. We'll make sure that there's no countouts, there's no disqualifications. It has to end in pinfall or submission. You will get your rematch. Just, you know, calm down a little bit. So Nigel kind of being peer pressured a little bit here, but I can understand his reasoning. The Golden Lovers will get a rematch against the Lucha Brothers in the future. Might not be next week, might not be the week after that, but they will get it. So they are still the number one contenders for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. 76 rated segment, not bad. Nothing on the 87, was it? 86 rated match? Something like that. Crazy. Following this, we've got some one-on-one action. Zack Sabre Jr. defeats Buddy Matthews with the Zack Driver. During this match, though, Calvin Tankman was ringside, just, you know, keeping his little eye on Zack Sabre Jr. I'm trying to maybe put him off in the match, because Zack and Calvin have developed this beef since Calvin defeated him and, of course, got the one-up at Full Gear 2. So Zack Sabre Jr. maybe showboating a little bit too much in this match, and almost losing a couple of times because he was trying to intimidate Calvin Tankman. Yeah, 75 rated match. Cool. Let's move on. Let's keep going. And then we've got a debut. Daria Baronetto, however you pronounce it, is here, and she is facing off against Chris Statlander. It's the battle of the women with lines on their eyebrows. And Daria comes out on top with the modified Go-Go Platter. Okay. In a 59 rated match, yeah, fair enough. Daria gets a 52, Chris Statlander gets a 57, and she's got a groundswell of public support, Daria. So that is great to see. Let's see what the negatives were, if any. Poor gimmick Daria has, so let's maybe look at changing that. After this match, we go to a backstage segment in which Hangman Page is just talking to his amigo Bandido and just says to him, hey, you know, Jay White's a sneaky guy. We don't know what he's planning. I'm more than happy to be ringside if you want, you know, because we are amigos, of course. And Bandido's like, no, I've got this. So Hangman's like, okay, cool. And they kind of high five, fist pound, kiss each other on the lips. 100 rate segment. It's probably because of the kiss. But Hangman, does great well in any segment he does. So it looks like Bandido's going out alone in the main event. And let's see if Jay White keeps to his promise as well by also being alone at Collision. Let's follow this with a promo from Dr. Britt Baker. She basically mocking Jamie Hayter, saying, I told you I had a plan. Ha 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 ha. You lost. No one likes you. No wonder your surname's Hayter, because everyone hates you. Really silly, just mocking, like being a really arrogant little shit. And she's not pictured here, but Demi Bennett is with her, but she's a little bit more focused because she has got a match up next. So it's the in-ring debut of Demi Bennett as she takes on Thunder Rosa. 71, that is what we want to see. So in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Demi Bennett gets the win and she defeats Thunder Rosa with the Riptide. Obviously it's going to keep the old moves. I'm not going in and changing people's moves. We know what the Riptide is. Gets the nice clean win, 70 rating. Demi Bennett and Thunder Rosa with a 59, which is still, fairly decent. Good, strong debut. And I'm assuming the plan down the line is probably going to be Jamie Hayter, Demi Bennett. But we'll have to see if Hayter responds or even wants to respond because, Britt Baker's one thing. But Britt Baker and Demi Bennett and potentially Hikaru Shida, if she somehow can find her way back over here, that's an issue. But this is our penultimate match. And up next, we have our main event. Jay White defending his AEW International Championship against Bandido, Adam Page's best friend, his amigo. Let's go. 77. Okay. So in a superb match, Jay White defeats Bandido in 18 minutes with the Blade Runner. And this is defense number 6. And from what I can see, a very clean victory. Let's look at the booking details. No one is at ringside. Just a straight up victory from Jay White. He stuck to his word. No Bullet Club Gold, no shenanigans. And he offered a title opportunity to Bandido. So yeah, we'll take that. Penalised for stamina. Boys, it's only 18 minutes. Either way, a great win from Jay White, which again puts another little feather in his cap as to why he should be the AEW World Heavyweight #1 contender. But unfortunately, well, depending on how you look at it, someone has something to say about that. And yeah, it's Pac. Pac is back. After his potentially, I don't think anyone's going to beat it, match of the year with Hangman Adam Page. I don't think he's finished. And he challenges Jay White. He says, I don't care about Bullet Club Gold. I don't care about your title. I don't even care about you, Jay, but you're in the way. The World Heavyweight Championship is mine. I'm not finished. And I'm going to make sure that you do not get an opportunity before I have my rematch. So a challenge has been set to Jay White to face Pac. So that is how we end our show. Pac, Jay White, tussling for a chance to get the Hangman. So let's finish the show and see how we do. 80, I'll take it. 80 rating, thumbs up. Another kind of standard show. We're trying to introduce. We've got 3 women's matches on this card. Can we just give me a high five quick? I think that's the problem. They're not getting enough screen time to get better. So what do? You give them more screen time. And definitely we've identified a few people here that are definitely worth pushing. So yeah, decent show. Last show was also decent. Advancing a couple storylines. There's going to be a few new ones coming on the horizon. Eddie Kingston wants his hands on Mox, not Moz. And Zack Sabre Jr., Calvin Tankman having a little thing between them. Britt Baker's on fucking cloud 9 because she beat Jamie Hayter, and Demi Bennett seems to be very much in her corner, who, as we can see, is a machine. And Jay White sticking to his word. I mean, is Jay White gonna stay with his word and it just be him? But Pac is now back. Pac is back and has something to say about that. So Hangman Page is a very popular young man. I mean, look at him, he's gorgeous. Yeah, and Hook is just come out of nowhere and become an MVP. So we need to figure out how to fit him in somewhere. So yeah, that is how we end our shows. Next week, we have already got the confirmed main event for Dynamite, which is El Generico taking on Miro for his TNT title. I'm sure there's going to be a number of other great matches on the horizon. I just haven't booked them yet. But yeah, thank you very much for this episode, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do it all. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.